You're having a hard time getting his friends to come because they're all bums.
Hey, whoa, what?
No, he's not talking about you.
Oh, I'm most definitely talking about you and Pookie and Ray Ray and Cool Breeze.
Pops has a friend named Cool Breeze?
Every black man has a friend named Cool Breeze.
I don't.
Sounds like you just got yourself a nickname. Cool Breeze.
Cool Breeze.
Ah, wow. I remember that car. And I could give a damn about that car. He loved that car more than he loved me. It was always washed on new tires. He even gave the car a nickname. Black Beauty. Gave me a nickname, too. Boy, get away from my car.
You can't blame him. That 73 was special. You had no idea what he had to do to get this car. See, it was the 1970s. Brothers had come back from Vietnam, broke and strung out, but Earl was riding around these streets looking like money. So one day, Earl gets fired for stealing mattresses from his job. The thing is, he didn't do it. So Earl figures, I'll show you racists what stealing is, and robbed the place blind. Sold those mattresses on the street, made his car note. He may have lost his job, but he was not about to lose Black Beauty. He had that car all the way up to the moment he traded it for that boat.
I had no idea that's how Pops made his side money.
Hold on, so that was actually a true story?
Oh, yeah. At least that's what the police report said.
I didn't realize Pops was such a con man. Fake IDs? Rocco Shabazz? Pinky Gonzalez? Jesus Berkowitz?
I remember these. It took us forever to get these just right. They still didn't work. He got arrested at the airport immediately.
Sure did.
Arrested? I feel like I don't even know this guy. He stole mattresses, gambled, forged passports, roundhoused. Is his name even Pops?
Hey, settle down, Cool Breeze.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm just out. I'm not celebrating this guy.
Hey, hold on, man. So you're saying you're not on Pops? Are you not hearing the same stories that I'm hearing? Put yourself in his shoes. Think about it. Pops tried to escape the racism of the Deep South and fell into the racism of Deep South Central. Sam Yorty was mayor, Ronald Reagan was governor, and they ain't never seen a black man they didn't want to break in half. Pops's generation was the last hired and first fired. And remember, he didn't make a lot of money, so he had to stretch it as far as he could for his family, especially around the holidays. That's why he had his side hustles to turn $1 into $2. Look, Pops wasn't perfect, but he was more than most. I remember once I had a friend over and he asked me who that man in the hallway was. I said, that's my dad. He had never seen a dad before. I was one of only a couple of friends who even knew their dad. Yeah, it's easy to judge Pops now because he survived long enough to be judged. But the truth is, if I was in his place, I don't think I'd have done anything different. Your grandfather made it to 65, despite everything working against him. We need to celebrate that.
Yes, I didn't think of it like that.
All right, ladies. The clip that you just heard was from Blackish, season 4, episode 16, where they're celebrating Pop's birthday, Pop's 65th birthday. And the ladies suggested this episode to me because it kind of crystallizes the Pookie and Ray Ray thing. As you can hear the quote unquote educated lame who plays the father talking to his son and calling his father's friends bums because they have the nicknames Pookie, Ray Ray, and Cool Breeze, which is just typical black names in the neighborhood. And the father goes on to believe or to think that he has escaped it or that he has overcome that status, come to achieve an upper middle class lifestyle with educated kids, with a mixed wife, and he thinks he's left all that behind. What was unique in this episode is that his mother is telling him the story about who his father was and why he did what he did. And what he comes to realize is that even though he's achieved and even though he's middle class or upper middle class, if things had gone differently or he had been raised in the time of his father, he may have made similar choices. So this Pookie, Ray Ray, and Thug thing, as me and Rom were saying, is way overblown. Way overblown. And this artificial competition between the so-called two classes is way overdone. Especially when you look at the New York Times and the Brookings Institute reports about black male life. The Pookie and Ray Rays, the classic men, even the so-called educated lames, or even the upper class of black folks, the talented 10, are never more than a few heartbeats away from being Pookie and Ray Ray, or being that thug, or being Cool Breeze. This Cool Breeze probably exists in all strata. I think Cool Breeze is the one nickname that basically crosses all classes, because you can have a Cool Breeze that's a billionaire, and you can have a Cool Breeze that's a homeless dude. If you look at the life of the father, you can go back and look at the episode. Pops was just a black man, a little smarter than most, a little bit more ambition than most, raising his family. And so we black men really wonder why black women are attracted to so-called Pookie and Ray Ray, so-called thug. Because at the end of the day, there's not really that much difference between all of us, between all black guys in this country. Some speak a little different, some speak a little bit more slang, but at the end of the day, like I said, if you really want to know where a guy's head is, where a black guy's head really is, don't listen to how he talks. Don't listen to what he does. Go to his playlist. And you'll probably find that his playlist is almost the same as Pookie and Ray Ray. You listen to the same things. You have the same experience. You damn near have the same culture. Just opposite ends of it. And just like us, how we pick our women from the different strata and different classes of women as we see them, they do the same thing. Just like you like a Cardi B, they like a 50 Cent. Just like you like an Angela Bassett, they like a Drake. And I think when we go into this thug thing and this Pookie and Ray Ray thing, I don't think men are being honest about it. We sleep with ratchet chicks because we like the way they look, or we like the way they act, or we like what they do because they're sexually free. I do believe the women do the same thing. The only difference is that men can't get pregnant and women can. If women couldn't get pregnant, I don't think there would be this much angst between us. And what men really don't really understand is that it's not really something they have against Pookie and Ray Ray or the thug. They said the thug is dragging our image down. Come on, dude, you listen to gangster rap. You listen to 50. You listen to Nas. You listen to Jay-Z. You listen to Lil Wayne. You listen to trap house rap and mumble rap. They're not dragging your image down. You're participating in dragging your image down, and you blame the thug. What really comes down to is you blaming the thug because you think that the thug is dating or sleeping with the women that you want. But guess what? Thug thinks the same thing about you. So when you have big booty Keisha and you're driving in a nice car and you taking her on a trip, Thug and Pookie and Ray Ray are pissed off at you because you're doing things with Keisha that he can't do, or you're getting the upscale Keisha that he can't get. She's putting the same pressure on him that she puts on you. She's telling him he needs to be more like you, and she's telling you that you need to be more like him, because she wants a blend of both, just like you do. And I know women do a disservice but not owning their shit. I was talking to my daughter, or my mother was talking to my daughter, and she was telling me exactly what I've been telling the women for a very long time. Just like men do, black women know when they're fucking wrong, or they're fucking dating people that they shouldn't date. They're out of their class. Men know it, women know it. And I think part of the reason that black men have this angst between the Pookie and Ray Ray and the upscale dudes, the classic dudes, the educated lames, is because the women are fueling it. And I think the women need to bear some responsibility for fueling this debate between the thug and whatnot. And I think women need to be clear about who they want to date and why they want to date them, and take the responsibility for their choices, because the men do have a valid point. If you got a string of baby daddies by dudes that can't help you out, then it's your fault, not theirs. Stop blaming the men for your choice, because the men can't blame their string of baby mamas if they did, or having a baby mama by a ratchet chick, or a chick that's not up to their class and having to pay child support and being stuck, because you're going to tell the men they should have chose better. And the men have the same right to say the same thing to you. You should have chose better. My mother, at 80 years old, we had this conversation about my daughter, but also led to hers, and also led to me. We pay the price for the decisions that we make. And that's something that I had never heard my mother say in my entire life. And I'm an old dude. I guess when women get to the point where they have a few years left ahead of them and many years that are behind them, they finally tell the truth and they're honest with themselves, which is a moment of clarity. A moment of clarity that I think is more rare for women than it is for men, which is something freeing to women that they don't really do, is have that moment of clarity when you own your own stuff and you own your own mistakes, or your mistakes as you see them. Good or bad, this is what I did. And it's nobody's fault except mine. There's things that you can't do, can't help where you were born, or what station that you were born in, or what path or lane that you're born in. You can jump lanes. It's hard, but you can jump lanes. But the thing is, in your lane, what did you do with it? How did you run your race in your lane? And I think a lot of people don't do that. They look in somebody else's lane. Okay, that lane is not your lane. Sometimes people are born in the fast lane. Some people are born in the slow lane. It doesn't matter. What did you do? How best did you run that race in your lane? Did you run that race to your optimum, to the best of your ability? If you did, as a human being, that's all you can do. And I think women need to be honest with that. And they do need to come to some kind of peace with that. Stop harassing the men. Stop blaming the men for stuff that you did. And vice versa. Men need to know that you can't control a woman's vagina. She's going to sleep with who she wants to sleep with. And she has a right to sleep with who she wants to sleep with. And she needs to bear the responsibility of her choice. You have to respect it, and she's got to own it. And I think if both parties do that, I think even if the community doesn't heal, at least they won't be as antagonistic towards each other. It's a conversation. It's time for truth. America is going to go through whatever it's going to go through. And there's no sense in lying about where you are and what you're going to do, because all this stuff is going to become uncovered. And I think guys and I think gals need to be honest with themselves. I think women that want to swirl and date white guys and want to escape the black neighborhood, I think you need to jump over there and wade in knee deep in the white community and take what you get, because what you're going to get is not going to be pretty. Guys that want to, we're really guys that don't like the educated lambs, who want to be or to escape it and want to move up in class. You're going to find out the same thing that the mulattoes did in the late 19th century and earlier 20th century. You're never really going to be accepted, which is the same thing that the New York Times was going to just talked about. Regardless of what we think, regardless of what we feel about Pookie, Ray Ray, and Cool Breeze and the Thug, America has put us all in the same barrel, in the same bucket. Rich or poor, you're all in the same bucket. And you're trying to create a hierarchy inside that bucket. And you can. It's okay. You can do that. But at the end of the day, stop being mad at the Thug. Stop being mad at Pookie and Ray Ray. Pookie and Ray Ray most likely are running the best they can in the lane that they're in. And you should do the same. It is what it is. But with that, I'm going to jump off of here. Ladies, this is for you. Char Willie. I don't know if this is exactly what you asked for, but this is the best that I could do with the subject after doing this for like 2 weeks, like a week. I didn't think this was going to be that big of a deal. And I still don't understand why it is. But that's just me. So ladies, I'll see you tonight. I guess it's going to be a rousing topic and a rousing conversation. Maybe we can kind of put this stuff to rest, come to some kind of understanding, if not agreement, and leave each other's lane alone and do the best you can in the ones that you have. Peace.